Welcome to Breaking the Chain. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Cody.
And we got not a lot of news this week, but we got like the whole top card trend, so we thought we'd jump on that.
We have some metagame results. We have a hero that LL'd that took down a very important card with it.
I guess there's a little bit of news, but
yeah, there's a bit of news. There's a bit of change happening.
Right.
Yeah, how about
so if we want to start with
yeah. Oh, I was
what you do in Flesh and Blood this week?
Oh, what I did in Flesh and Blood this week, I played in a ProQuest. It was for ProQuest LA. It was a CC ProQuest. I brought Dash.io to an unfortunate 4-2 not making top 8. I am planning on having something else come out with that to have more detail, so I'm not going to go in detail on exactly the rounds in there. Hopefully I get that out in a reasonable amount of time. But yeah, long story short, Dash.io was in a really good spot, and I think I just kind of fumbled. I got fatigued by a Kayo, Armed and Dangerous. That kind of hurt.
Right.
The problem is I got fatigued. I've been getting fatigued by decks because I've been like trying to trim cards down to be more efficient and not just like fat deck to like 70 something cards into even like the aggro decks. And it's been, biting me in the ass a bit. Proven by getting fatigued by fucking KO. So
I remember when you reported that to me. I was like, how do you get fatigued by KO?
Well, because like they can just kill you. I didn't expect them to just like side out all their no blocks and just try to block out.
Right.
I didn't expect that strategy, and so I took out a max V, and then in the game, basically, long story short, I boosted away my first max V, and I knew they were trying to fatigue me, so I was playing for the second one, and I played to my outs. I basically tried to play for playing 2 max Vs like back-to-back turns, but I knew I only had 1 backup protocol left and 1 max V left, and then the second max V was just the very bottom of the deck, unfortunately. So,
dang.
Yeah, is what it is. And then the other game, I could have won if I played it a little bit differently. The thing is that my deck failed me both games. Like I low rolled, but I still could have won if I just had played them differently. That's like the long story short of my PQ was my deck failed me, but I could have won anyway if I just didn't make some small mistakes. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I might be able to play another ProQuest, maybe, but I'm out of town this weekend, so I can't attend the 2 this weekend, and I don't think I can play the ones next weekend. But we'll see. But it was still fun. I still had a blast playing my girl. I played against Bolton in the first round. That deck was scary. They basically passed for 2 turns and it still almost beat me. Like there was 2 turns where they quite literally attacked me for 0 with like more than 1 card in hand and still almost beat me. That deck's strong now. I'm impressed.
Is definitely a sleeper pick. He feels pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. There's some strong things going on with the deck now. There's just some overrate cards that they can be running to make up for the charging. But yeah, I'm not too surprised by the chart here, but we'll get to that in a minute. How was your week in Flesh and Blood?
I played 1 game of Sage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I didn't actually get to go out and do much this week. Went over, me and Cody are working on a little project, so the day that I normally play Flesh and Blood, we were doing that, working on that, played a game of Sage there. Was sick, really fun.
Yep.
I made Cody IP4, which felt really good.
That was an impressive one, too.
Yeah. But other than that, it was kind of a calm week.
Yeah. Well, then let's jump into the ProQuest Las Vegas Week 3 pie chart. And it's Week 3, but it's the first week of the CC ProQuests. Mm-hmm. So this is a pretty diverse meta that we're in. The top performing deck was 12% of the meta, and then 10%, 9%, 8%, 7%, and it was Verdance, Marionette, Dio, Huntsman, Kayo Armed and Dangerous, and then Acilio, Kasai, Syndra, Gravy, Jarl, Victor. There's like the pie chart is like an almost even spread of heroes. It's insane. I don't think I've ever seen a pie chart this well distributed before.
Yeah. This is definitely the most diverse meta I have ever seen. It is pretty cool. You can pick up any hero and go and perform well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Huntsman is arguably the best deck in format. Sorry, not Huntsman, Marionette. Marionette. I keep saying Huntsman.
I was gonna say, I'm like, you really think it's Huntsman? Like, I get Huntsman's really good right
Huntsman
now.
Huntsman is good right now, but yeah, I think Marionette is probably arguably the best deck in the format, but not by much. Not by much at all.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, but yeah, there's just so many viable decks proven by the pie chart. Pretty cool meta. I like it.
It's super cool. I'm interested to see if it changes at all going into the next week. Even though we have a big LL. Well, big LL.
It's big in terms of the signature weapon. That's the main reason why it's big.
So if we want, we can just jump straight into it.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Kayo
LL.
Kayo Armed and Dangerous. Out of here.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's really sad though, honestly. The fact that the staple Mandible Claw is no longer with us. Like, I don't care about KO Armed and Dangerous. Sorry for everybody who is a big KO fan. But the Claw, that's the thing that I'm going to be sad to see gone. I was thinking about trying to like learn some Leviah. I thought Leviah was kind of getting to be a really cool deck. But maybe not a very usable deck without...
You don't want to do Hexagore Leviah?
Not particularly, although there's...
6 to you, 6 to me.
I mean, there's a build that could maybe use it. I don't know how good it'd be, but
I mean, you could use speaking of which, I just got this in, but you can use the new Rockyard Rodeo card, the blue.
Ooh, that is true. Yeah, it is a 6 power in Hexagore. Yeah.
But I want to say the saddest thing about KO leaving is Valda's best matchup is out. Her meta share got worse. I can't.
Man, her one good matchup's gone.
That's not quite true. I'm like, my auto win into KO's gone. Now I only have my auto win into Marlin. What will I ever do?
Oh no.
Oh no. Auto win. They could play it tight, but it definitely was the matchup that I think was extremely Valda favored.
Yeah, I mean, and then like everything else, like KO is very good into. It was just a solid deck. It's almost like it lately it filled the role of Zen near the end of its Living Legends or non-Living Legend career, however you'd call that. like Zen near the end was a very fair, just decent numbers deck. That was just a very flat.
Zen in the end was really cool.
Yeah, it was a nice deck, and like same with KO. It was just a solid deck. Like you did good damage. You had a good, decent matchup into everything basically. You had a game plan and everything. You just were a very flat percentage of like you were like 50-50 into most decks, if not better. Which is kind of where Zen was right before LL, and it seems to be maybe a more common thing that's happening where these heroes are kind of just like slipping into the Living Legend status, just barely. They're not like dominant when they get Living Legend anymore. They're just kind of like slipping in.
Yeah, a hero is not as dominant throughout their entire life cycle, it feels, anymore, which is probably good. We don't want another like Starvo situation or Chain situation or any of those. Well, I guess Chain kind of just felt like he slipped in. But yeah, Lexi. Oh man, that's what scares me about Marionette. Is Marionette feels like the Lexi where yes, halftime LL points or they have halftime LL points and they're just winning, but because they're in half the LL points, they are staying forever.
It's not that dominant of a deck, thankfully, but it is a very strong deck. That is for sure.
They have felt relevant for a very, very long time, and they are. I don't even know if they're halfway to LLing.
Let's see. I was just about to look up the Living Legend, because there were some other heroes that are getting close to Living Legend that I was surprised by. Yeah, where is Marionette really quick? 415.
Which is crazy because if you take away the half LL points, they'd be at 830.
Yeah, they'd be almost there if they weren't doing the half.
Yeah.
But some other notable heroes that are getting close. Verdance at 936. Not too much left.
Please go. Please go this weekend. Please go this weekend. I want to be free of Verdance, please. My auto loss.
Followed by Prism Awakener of Soul at 895. Almost 900 points.
Probably the second coolest illusionist to ever be printed.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Fi at 835. Syndra at 800. Bravo Showstopper at 769.
Hasn't earned any points in like 10 seasons. It was the Lexi season, I think. He earned the last point, so
and then
pretty much say he has 0.
Dash.io at 726, having earned 220 points in the pen season from the 2 calling wins.
What are you gonna do here in about 2 weeks, Cody?
If I lose Dash.io, I will not have a deck to play in the CC format.
Well, if you ever need to borrow a deck, I've got a few Guardians.
Man, I don't know what I'll try to main after Dio goes. That's gonna be sad. I'll have to find. You know what? It's gonna be Ziggy. What am I thinking? Of course, it's Ziggy.
No.
I think unironically, the more I look at Ziggy, the more I'm like, yeah, this is my new hero.
The more I look at Ziggy, the more I'm like, please don't be Enigma Part 2. Please don't be Enigma Part 2. Enigma, but with arcane damage. It couldn't be worse.
Yeah, but I just noticed there were some heroes that are also on the chopping block. I wouldn't be surprised if Verdance is gone by the end of ProQuest season.
She will definitely be gone by the end of ProQuest. I think if she has one more win than she won this last week, she LLs next week.
Is that how it works?
I think so. I heard someone else say that. No fact checking. I heard someone else say it, so it must be
I'm
true.
sorry. It's been spoken on a podcast, and therefore it is now fact checked.
Yeah.
Get that straight.
Because I mean, Verdance, if she gets the exact same amount of wins, she would be at 997 points.
So we're assuming that this pen
PLLs.
season points is strictly ProQuest wins, for the first week. Is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because Pen came out after Road to Nets, so none of that.
Okay. I didn't know if there were. I guess there's no battle hards anymore. Yeah. I guess it has to be. Makes sense.
And then So, and she didn't win the callings, I can tell you that.
Yeah. So she's definitely gone by the end of ProQuest season. Which I know you're ecstatic about. I thought she was kind of a cool hero.
I thought she was really cool when she had the headpiece. I understand why it was banned, but I'm like, you get to do this really unique combo. That's so cool. And then they took the headpiece, and then it was a really boring deck that was just good, and you lose to.
Yeah, it kind of just is a boring deck now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just kind of does the math thing early on, and then the Storm Striders for lethal, and then it's like, oh, I died. Cool.
Oh, here's my true 6 damage, or 6 arcane. 3 of it's true because no one has arcane barrier 6. Oh, here's Felling of the Crown. Oh, here's another 6 arcane damage. Oh, here's another 6 arcane damage. It was Felling of the Crown a second time. How cool! How unique! Oh, you're at 10 life. Oh, you're throwing lethal. Okay, or like below 10 life. Here's my 6 arcane and waning moon. That's 9 damage. Oh, you lost. Oh, how fun! Didn't you enjoy just being hit for 6 arcane damage turn after turn after turn? Anyways, I'm a little salty. But...
No way. The craziest thing too is that Tanner was telling me at the PQ that he can now throw his first Felon of the Crown for 8 because of Elemental Strike.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't realize that part. Yeah. They just throw that for banishing the first Earth card, and they throw Felon banishing 3 Earth cards, and now their Felon comes in for 8 the first time instead of 4, and that's kind of busted. that's kind of good. Turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
My whole deck is throwing 7, 6, or 8 damage at you each turn. A lot of it true damage. What are you gonna do? Yeah,
Good luck.
good luck.
Oh. One thing I want to note actually on the pie chart was I expected Acilio to be a lot more dominant than it was.
Mhm.
I know that players are. It's a very tough deck to play, and therefore it's not going to give as many wins from that. But I expected it to do much better at calling Toulouse, which we'll get into in a second.
That was the one thing that shocked me. I think Acilio is you have to
Shots.
be but you have to be extremely good on Acilio. And then if that happens, I did play a couple games on Talishar. I got turn 2 56 damage combo. That was fun. Anyways,
Wait, as Acilio or into Acilio?
No. Acilio did that to me.
Okay.
And that was through Pummel Disruption. I pummeled them. They discarded a card, and then they did 56 damage. It was the craziest thing I think I've ever seen. So, anyways, but I think you have to be a really good pilot, and especially with how much people are targeting it right now, I think you also have to get a little bit lucky.
Yeah, people are definitely citing their bells. They are adding more disruption like weakest links and humbles into their lists to try to counter it. It's the known boogeyman of the format, and it's probably suffering a little bit for that. It is a very fragile deck, especially when like the pilot isn't super experienced in dealing into the disruption. So it's not that. I guess it's not that surprising overall in retrospect, but I expected it to do a lot more results than it has been.
I mean, I'm surprised it didn't perform as well at the culling. Like,
So
the culling 2 weeks ago, we saw 2 in the top 8, which I'm like, okay, that makes sense. This looks about right. But then last week, like, we didn't see any Acilio in top 8.
There actually is one
this week. There is. Okay.
So let's get into that actually really quick. So last podcast we recorded on Saturday morning, so we were able to give the metagame. So we won't go over that again. But just as a quick mini recap, it was very even spread with Arachne Marionette, KO Armed and Dangerous, Vincent, Acilio, Verdance, Dash, Phi, and Valda taking up a large portion of the top.
I mean,
go ahead.
The top deck wasn't even 10%, which I think is crazy.
Insane. And then for conversion, X2 or better, in order of number of heroes that converted, it's 14 Marionettes, 11 Verdance, 8 Acilio, 8 KO, 8 Dio, 5 Vincent, 5 Victor, 5 Syndra, and then a smattering of other heroes behind that. The most notable percentage-wise, the Marionettes, 40% of Marionettes converted, 38% of Verdance is converted, 28% of Acilios, 56% of Victors. What else? 42% of Syndras. One of the 2 Levias converted, and that's I think the most notable. Unfortunately, only 6% of Valdas converted.
You didn't have to mention that part. We gotta move past that, you know.
Just some notable ones. Another notable one is that only 8% of Prisms converted too. There were a lot of Brutes, so kind of makes sense that it could
people playing the last weekend of KO.
Yeah, I know. Also, Marlin is a pretty strong deck into a lot of the top decks there, I believe, but didn't convert too well, unfortunately. Got a lot of new tools in competitive Wraith, and actually took down the ProQuest, the local ProQuest here.
Oh yeah, I did see that actually.
Very strong deck now. And then for top 8, there was 1 KO, 2 Dash IOs, 1 Acilio, 1 Huntsman, 1 Pleiades, a Victor, and a Vincent. And in the finals, it was Dash IO versus Huntsman, and Dash IO took it down,
beating Pablo Pintor.
I mean, that's a good matchup for Dio. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't care what anybody thinks. It's a good matchup for Dio. The new tools makes it scarier. I will say it makes it scarier, but it is still a good matchup for Dio. The problem is they just don't have enough armor and stuff. Like
I was just about to say, they don't have any armor to really block with.
Yeah, and if they ever want to play that new D react against you, like it does a lot of deck damage, but you're hitting them that turn. Like any boom grenades you have, if they want to play that D react, you're hitting your boom grenades. So that's the main thing, right? Is that like you just get to leak your boom grenades most of the time against them.
Unless you have two of the same card, you play the first one, they hit that and that card out of
It
your
can
hand.
happen, yeah. It can happen. But
They
then
can win.
But every time that happens, they also play it, and then there's an item on top. So you know,
That
win some, you lose some, right? But yeah, Dio taking down another calling, back-to-back weekends in a row, I believe.
Dio is doing crazy work recently.
Dio's strong. It's a good deck.
Weren't you telling me Dio wasn't a good deck a few weeks ago?
I thought she wasn't going to be, but I was wrong. What can I say? I thought that.
I mean, that's
Acilio,
a good thing to be wrong about.
Well, because like the Acilio matchup is a much rougher now into the competent pilots. It's not great. I would say that you're like 45 into them.
That's not bad for.
It's not bad.
Matchup, though.
It's not bad, but I expected a lot higher Acilio dominance. I expected there to be a much larger correction to match the Acilios. But with the meta the way it is, Marionette is not a great matchup by any means. But the rest of those decks you're happy to see. Literally every deck up there. I guess Vincett's not ideal either, but every other deck up there,
Victor,
you're happy to see. What?
You're not happy to see Victor, are you? Or Pallades?
Well, I was thinking about the metagame percentages.
Sorry, I was thinking top 8.
Yeah, for convert. Sorry, yeah, I wasn't talking like top 8 or whatever. But yeah, sorry. I meant specifically the metagame overall.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, if you look at the Dio path in top 8, they beat a KO, which is a good matchup as long as you're not a dumbass like me. And then they did beat an Acilio, and then they beat the Huntsman. And I consider Acilio to be like a 45, but then KO is super favored and Huntsman is super favored. Well, not super favored; it's slightly favored. Yeah. What else? And that's most of it when it comes to loose. Anything else you wanna bring up for it?
I mean, there's some crazy games. I actually didn't get to see the Victor v Arachne match, but I hear that it went perfect for Arachne to win that game.
Oh, really?
Because Arachne is super unfavored into Victor.
Interesting. I guess it kind of makes sense. You're supposed to like set up. You just could go over the top with your gold main estates, and then so the Arachne just has to try to banish them.
And then Victor also runs remembrances to put the gold main estates back in, so they keep stacking gold to stack mites to throw big damage. But it was like turn 1 or turn 0, I think, where Victor. I think it was turn 1 or 2, maybe. But anyways, Victor threw an attack, and then Arachne immediately played the D-React, hitting all their remembrances.
Oh, I see.
And then I think they hit their gold main estate, or not gold main estate. Maybe it was their Golden Suns. I think they hit that on the next one. Yeah, I think they hit some.
Those are some pretty good hits. Yeah.
Yeah, and they won with like 1 card left in deck, from my understanding.
Dang. That's a cool game. I need to rewatch some of these tournaments. I should definitely do some more of that.
Yeah, I don't have much else. Like, and I've seen a couple of the games that really good games. Like, callings are a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Oh,
and with such a diverse meta, it feels like every match is different, which is cool.
Yeah, not only that, for the current meta, it's very interesting, but just seeing the way that these top players play these games is very impressive. All right, unless you have anything more, we can move on to the DevTouch article they put out. I think it was today, actually.
Yeah, I totally missed this, so this is all you.
Yeah, so they put out a DevTouch article regarding the Silver Age development process, which is a pretty cool article. Definitely highly recommend reading it. The most interesting part to me was that there was the process of the way that they did the initial bans for Silver Age. I assume this was back when it was Project Blue, but maybe it was actually for beyond that for Silver Age. But they let the developers have all the cards available to them, no bans, and then built or had a whiteboard that they would write down cards that they thought were problematic, and then people would like initial or mark next to them if they agreed that card was problematic. And then if all the cards that had the most notes on that whiteboard were then put into a review to then likely, I think most of them were banned, is what they said. But long story short, the way that they did the ban process was basically, let's not ban anything, see what feels too strong, and go from there. And they mentioned that like the D-reacts were immediately the number one things that they wanted to get out. The Fate Foreseens and Sync Belows. Those always felt very strong, being able to be put in arsenal and then be a very strong defensive tool later on in the game. And then other things like the weapons and whatnot, like Rosetta Thorn, obviously getting hit. Things like that. But I thought it was a really cool idea of like, let's just not ban anything. Let's leave everything on the table and see how they feel, and then go from there. I thought it was a cool process.
And Briars still somehow came out of that fine, you know.
Yeah, that was actually, and that was one thing that they mentioned in the article was like I think it said there's 60 heroes. There's no way we can test everything. So that's why they went with that process, yeah.
No, I get that. I'm being a little sarcastic. I'm sure that was a lot of testing, and you have to build the deck, and is this actually, like, I'm sure there's a lot to it.
Yeah, not to mention, like, you're testing pre and post bans too. So maybe Briar didn't feel as strong when they didn't have everything banned, right? Like maybe they still had Fiddler's Green and they still had the Sync Belows and whatnot, and so Briar didn't feel quite as strong in that case. But then once they made those bans, maybe they didn't have the time to retest it.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, but I thought it was a really cool article. I liked it, especially since I am diving much harder into Silver Age than I have been lately. And with that, let's dig into the Silver Age meta, which has been a bit lopsided lately, is maybe the way to put it. So there was a showdown in Toulouse as well, the Sunday showdown, and we don't have like a top 8 bracket for it as far as I know.
We did somewhere.
Oh, did we?
I can't remember where I let me see if I can find it, but I think it was like 5 KOs.
Well, no, I have the breakdown here. I just don't know like the brackets part of it. But yes, it was.
I don't know.
It was 5 KO, 1 Ira, 1 Kano, and 1 Vincent. The Vincent was kind of cool. And the finals was KO versus Kano, and KO took it down. It was Sammy Weck. So KO is a bit strong, it turns out.
They forgot to ban a hero in the banned and suspended. They missed it.
they kind of forgot one of them. Yeah, KO was like very strongly the second best deck in Silver Age before they made any bans in the recent BNR, and technically KO got a hit in the form of Siren's Call because they used to run red and yellow Siren's Call. But it really wasn't that big of a deal for them to lose that.
Yeah.
Turns out the KO deck did not care much about it. So now it's just objectively the best deck. However, for those watching the video, you can see behind me, there's actually another contender for the best deck. And one of them was in this top 8 for the Sunday Showdown. And that's Ira. And the reason why Ira is a very big contender is if you go to Fabre right now, you go to the Silver Age meta results for the last 7 days because you need to do post BNR. You'll see that, yes, KO has an overall 57% win rate and has some bad matchups. And then you scroll down just a smidge and you'll see that Ira has an overall 62% win rate and has, I think, one bad matchup, and that's Briar. And that's it. With some just absolutely dominant matchups, like an 89% win rate into Enigma, for example. Yeah, turns out Ira is actually pretty good in the Silver Age format as well.
So there are technically a few heroes with a higher win percentage than KO, and that's Ira, Briar still, Valda, my girl, and Olympia. Not Dory, from what I understand. Let me go look at Dory one more time. Just make
Dory's
sure.
at 54,
not Dory.
yeah.
Yeah. It might just be that Olympia's played. Oh, He's played a lot less. So if you're looking at least 1,000 games, Olympia's they only had 186. But at least 1,000 games. Those are the 3 heroes that are above KO. Is Valda, Briar, and Ira.
Yep. So KO looks to be the big bad, and the deck is super strong. If you haven't played into it in Silver Age, it's brutal.
Insane.
It's absolutely insane. Disgusting. But this Ira deck is also pretty disgusting as well. I don't know what the best list is currently. I've been toying with it a bit. It might be what I bring to the battlegrounds that we have at the end of the month in about 2 weeks now. But it's the thing about it is that it's just super consistent. You just constantly have the +1 damage off your hero power. You have the Kodachis for this like anti-fatigue angle. You have just solid damage. You have on hits in the form of Humble and what's the other on hit that I have?
Cut down to size.
Some decks do run that card, but yeah, that's actually probably a really good KO tech actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, force that like. I like it in the aggressive. So I actually have an Ira Silver Age deck. I have it built. It's like it's actually right here in this box.
Oh hell yeah!
So, I actually have one. It's a little different than what I assume is meta. It's running Crazy Brew tech.
No, so that I think that is actually the meta thing too. I forgot to mention that.
Oh.
The helmet, the new helmet from Compendium. No, sorry, it's not a new helmet. It's actually an old one, right? From Outsiders. I think.
Yeah, from Outsiders.
It's from Outsiders. It's a helmet that says, pay 1, your next attack gains a name in addition to its name, I think is roughly how it's worded.
Here, give me like 30 seconds. I have it right here.
But long story short, what you do is you pay a resource, you name a card on the combat, your next attack, Crazy Brew, and then you get to throw Life of the Party for free with all 3 modes, which means it's a free because you're using the helmet. I put in quotes because you're using the helmet.
It's a 0 for 7. Go again on hit. Gain 2 life.
I think it's 6, right? It's like 4.
Well, with Ira's ability, it's 7.
Oh well, it depends on when you throw it. Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, technically you could throw it later, but I think the benefit of like Ira's ability is you make it a break point.
Fair,
which is really strong.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have the card. But Mask of Many Faces. Instant. Pay 1. Destroy Mask of Many Faces. Name a card. The next attack action card you play this turn gains that name.
Yep. It's a really interesting combo. And it's just a super strong play. You basically turn your helmet into, 3 value-ish?
I mean, depending on
Plus,
how you, like... Yeah, it's really hard to tell because it's like you're paying 1, but because you're paying 1, it makes that attack 2 less. So it's like you gain a resource and you're getting +2 power off. It's really weird how it all works.
Yeah, and it can get the health on hit. And some of the decks are running Pummel, so you can pummel it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I've got some additions in my list.
Because there's Go again, too. So you could threaten just to have a longer turn, but then you end up pummeling it. Yeah. Instead, it's interesting. The deck is just it's strong, it's consistent, it's got some tricks to it, it's got it's very flexible in terms of what it can play into. It has an evolving game plan, yada yada yada. It's just a strong deck. Turns out one value every turn for free is pretty good.
Technically, Ira has a losing matchup into Betsy.
You know what? You are right.
3 games, but
yeah, it's like technically it's Briar, and what's interesting is that I've been playing a bit on Talishar, and a lot of the Briars that I've been seeing on Talishar are actually like a fatigue Briar. They are fatigue Briar is maybe not the right way to put it. It's like they're basically this weird value. What's the Runeblade weapon that costs 2? If you played a non-attack action, it gets +3 and has on hit make a rune check.
Nebula Blade.
Is that what it is? Nebula Blade.
Yeah, Viscerized weapon.
I think so. Yeah. So they're running that. Huh. They're running the new elixirs from Compendium of Wraith that are just the 1 cost plus your next attack is +3.
Whack.
And so that's effectively a 2 card 7 on hit rune chant with only 1 card out of deck. And so it's like this weird, like almost like a Decimator style deck right? Where it's like, here's a weapon, it's very efficient. I'm just gonna value you down, whittle you down with value. And sometimes they also have like the lightning surges, and I think they might run lightning press. They have the scar for scars. They have like the attack
Lightning
actions
press
that'll
is banned.
not lightning press. Sorry, I guess they don't have lightning press anymore. That's right. But they have the attack action cards with go again, which if they hit, then they also get the embodiment of earth. So now some of their non-attacks will block for 4 instead. So they just have this like, it's this very value heavy deck now, and it kind of just rivals Ira's value that Ira's going for.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see if LSS decides to do anything, because like Ira's cool and she looks like she can win. And the stats say a lot, but like the consensus that I've gotten from everyone is KO is strong. And I'm hoping that they realize that it's a mistake to not ban pre-con cards, because I feel like it's been holding them back for a very, 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 very long time, and they refuse to change that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Well, I don't expect any changes until the scheduled BNR after the.
Yeah.
Actually, no, sorry. They already had the Silver Age BNR. Duh. I don't expect any changes until the next BNR for Silver Age, mostly because they'd have to do an emergency ban for specifically the battlegrounds and any Sunday showdowns, and that'd be it.
Well, you have the ProQuest, which I don't think there's a ban until after the ProQuest season.
But the ProQuest season is only CC now.
Sorry, not
Pro Tour.
Pro Tour.
Is that
so it's gonna be? I think so. I think we're gonna get a Pro Tour that's like 60% KO in top 8. Is that even math?
I'm curious. Let's see the latest BNR when it says the next one's gonna be. It was on March 3rd.
Does it only say when the next CC one is?
Yeah, it says the next CC one's on the 23rd, but I don't see when the next BNR is after that. I would expect there to be one prior to the Pro Tour.
Because one is the Pro Tour.
May? Question mark.
If it's May, then yeah, I could see that. But oh man, now we have to figure all this out. Let's see, events, World Tour.
No, it's in April. It's in April. It is less than a month.
Beginning of April?
It's Pro Tour Yokohama, beginning of April 9th through 12th.
And the ProQuest season, and so we're going to have like 2 weeks after ProQuest is when we have the Pro Tour. And I don't think they're going to ban cards the week before or week of Pro Tour.
So they'd have to include them in the CC BNR if they wanted to ban anything. Yeah.
We get the classic old LSS, we've made a mistake kind of message. We made a mistake. We realized we should ban pre-con cards. And like, I get it. Like, new players are jumping in and playing with these decks. That's like, I get that's the hard thing. But this is the competitive game. And it definitely looks a little interesting going into Pro Tour with KO being so dominant. And it's like, the other thing is, sure, KO has a lot of like losing matchups, but KO can still just win games. Like, yeah, I played a couple of games on like Talistar, or even in person, where like, oh, it's turn 2, KO got the hand and did like a 20 damage turn, which is insane in Silver Age. Like, you had to block out your hand, and now you've lost all your momentum, and KO gets to continue. It's like, there are games that you just lose against KO.
It is so funny. I'm flipping through the Silver Age deck and the deck that won calling or Sunday Showdown to lose. They're almost identical.
Yeah.
I thought there was gonna be at least something to hit. But no. The player who won the event effectively took the silver, like the pre-con. They added like 2 chest puffs. They added a couple of yellows. Yeah. Or no, they cut the yellow strongest survive for yellow Buckwild, and that's it.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I mean, That's crazy.
Some of the decks that came in the precons are actually really good. Surprise, surprise. They were not wrong when and maybe they're going to leave it just to show that precon can win you a Pro Tour.
$20 ticket to the or $2 million Pro Tour, yeah.
But I'm interested to see. Maybe the meta will diverse, but it's like doom and gloom from anyone I hear on Silver Age, like Pro Tour.
It is really sad if like you're interested in playing like trying to deck build something different, because you just get stomped by this deck. This deck just kills you so fast.
It's like the one thing I want to say is like Silver Age, like casually, is insanely fun. It's so cool. I can't imagine sitting down though and playing like 6 KO mirrors in a row.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, the KO mirror is not as fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, deck's super strong. I like Ira's technically stats wise beating it. I don't know how necessarily accurate that is. The stats have it at 53% into KO, which is why I have this whole like I think Ira is actually the better deck thought.
And that's fair. I just think that KO just sometimes wins the day. Like I drawed a 20 damage turn in 5 of my 6 games.
Yeah, thoughts?
I am in top 8. How cool.
And then Valda is actually like an interesting option. Where
I think the one thing where it's like
matchups.
The one thing about Valda is if you think you're only gonna play KO, play Valda. It's the deck to beat KO. It is, and I'm wondering if that's their balancer is Valda, because like, oh no, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna beat KO. Like I'm gonna play KO every single round. You have a 73. I'm sure you can make it 75% win rate into KO as Valda. Like that's absurd compared to any other deck, and that's a deck that also wins a lot of other matchups. You're favored into Briar. Your favorite. Ira, you're pretty rough into, but favored into Dromai, who's on the up and up. She has a 56% win rate right now. You're favored into a lot of the like decks that aren't the top of the meta. The only problem with Valda compared to the other heroes is like KO's only auto loss matchup is probably Valda, if you want to look at it that way. Valda has 2 in Kano and Enigma, which Enigma's probably going down in stocks with Ira coming out and KO being so good. But Kano is still good. And you just lose when you play into Kano as Valda. So
I mean, Kano is only 35% into KO. Like you're just like I think that's the problem right now, is that if you are wanting to play and actually have results, like yes, a Kano did make it to the finals of the showdown, but you're not gonna have a good time if there's mostly KOs at whatever event it is. And so I think you can fairly safely pick Valda as an option. I think that a lot of people are probably gonna be moving away from their KOs. Like you mentioned, Enigma is having a terrible time right now. Its overall win rate is 43%, with an 11% win rate into Dromai, a 10% win rate into Ira.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter what Valda's positioning is. I'm playing Valda.
Yeah, I mean, Valda is a very good anti-meta pick.
Yeah.
You just have some polarized matchups.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. But we'll see. Like, it could evolve more. We have plenty of time before the Pro Tour, so there could be something cool that comes out of it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that on the 23rd they introduce some bans for Silver Age. It will be interesting if those bans are right before the Battlegrounds. You know, if on the 23rd they go in effect on that Friday.
That'd be crazy.
And then we have a fresh meta for the Battlegrounds. It'd be fun. I'm down for it. I'm down to try to experiment and deck build for that Battlegrounds. That'd make it for a fun tournament, I would say. But I am also down to play the meta as is and just do some anti-meta choices.
That's fair. Well, is there anything else you have to say about the meta of the Silver Age?
I think the one last thing I might bring up is I think it's really cool that Vincent made top 8. And looking at the stats, she's got some pretty solid all around stats actually.
I mean,
like
she's another.
Yeah.
I was gonna say she's another deck that's actually I think favored into KO.
Yeah, 52%.
One of few.
You have slightly unfavored matchups into Dromai and Ira, and Fi, and Kano. But you are really favored into Enigma, but Enigma is kind of irrelevant right now, unfortunately. Yeah, you just have some pretty solid stats. You have a lot of 50-50s. It's just a solid deck. I thought it was a pretty interesting thing. I did not expect Vincent to be doing as well as she is. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I was a little surprised too to see Vincent doing so well, but I mean, she's doing well, so that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Would you like to
Ready
lead us
to get into
into our next section?
The meat and the potatoes. Podcast.
Sorry.
Very good.
The dogs are played.
To jump on the trend, we're gonna talk about our top. You have 9, I have 10, whatever. Top favorite cards in Flesh and Blood.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'll start it off since I have one more card than you that I would found. But I want to talk about Blood on Her Hands. You'd be surprised. I am very much a Guardian player. But I actually I love Blood on Her Hands. I played Kasai in Blitz originally, like the original Kasai. And it is a very fun, very unique card in how it works, where you like destroy copper to get all the bonuses from like +1, go again, you can attack an additional time, you can choose how you distribute those bonuses, and I don't know, it just like the art is also amazing on it. It's one of the best arts in Flesh and Blood, if not like my top 3 arts. So it is made my number 10 slot.
So, sidebar, I just noticed something.
Yeah, what's this?
I haven't been recording the video. I've been recording the audio, but I haven't been recording the video the entire time. Whenever I had to restart the Discord call because it was being weird, it automatically switched over to my Discord. So I've just been recording our Discord chat this whole time.
Oh no.
So unfortunately, this whole time when I said you look on the screen, you're not gonna actually see that. I'll probably just have to have a static image up instead on the YouTube video.
I saw you in our like chat, just like looking down in your hands. I'm like,
yeah.
Whatever.
So
dogs, whatever.
Oh well, the audio is fine.
Oops.
I recorded it, thankfully. I didn't like forget to hit the record button 47 minutes in. But yeah, there's no video.
Oops. Whatever. You have to get like a static image of us, like thumbs up. Hey, just the entire fun. You can be off to the side so you can see the background.
Yeah, exactly. Just do like.
Hey, I think for like I think this is our 58th episode, and like really having no huge difficulties on that kind of stuff. I think that's a big success.
That's a big success. This is the first one in 58. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, like we haven't had the thing where it hasn't recorded or anything, and we had to record the like
knocking on wood. Yeah.
Fingers knocks on wood. Yeah, we haven't had that or anything else super crazy. Like we've had to restart like 5 minutes in, but that's
that's nothing. But yeah, sorry to interrupt there, but I just noticed that because I noticed it because I was going to put the card you're talking about on the video. And then I was like, wait, why are her faces not on the video? Oops. Anyway, are you wanting to alternate cards, or you want to go through your list?
Yeah,
first?
we can just switch between us.
Okay.
The one thing I want to say, like I did post on Blue Sky earlier today, like my 9 favorite cards. There's a difference. I wanted to do in-deck cards just so it's not the exact same list. And then there's also like one card that's not actually on there. Like one's more of a nostalgic cards that more than it like on the top 9 than is actually in my like actually I love this kind of card kind of thing. So one card's a little bit different, but other than that we're good.
Yeah.
Just in case you compare the two and you're like, this guy's lying to me.
He's got 2 separate lists of favorite cards.
Anathos. 2 heroes, where are those on this list? So yeah, I just wanted to choose in-deck cards, but moving on from me.
So the first one that I have on my list is Snatch. The reason I have this card on there is it's just an iconic card. It's from the very first set of Flesh and Blood. It everyone's had it played into them and thought, oh no, what I'm gonna do? This card's gonna come in and it's gonna give them a free another card if I don't block it for 4 and give them one of my own valuable cards.
And
there's
they
other
have, like,
times,
snapdragons.
yeah. Oh, and then there's snapdragons on it to like get even more value. Sometimes like there's even further value when or like burn up shock in Aurora, for example. It could have go again for various reasons. And another reason I have on the list is because I loved playing this card in Redline Dromai back in the day. One of my favorite cards in there, especially if you had the free action point off of Chromai, or you ate cards of their hand already with Kyloria, and then you threw Snatch after the fact, and they're just like, no, please. Just an iconic card, right? It's such a fair card too. As weird as it sounds, like sometimes it feels unfair, but it actually is just super fair. Like you can always leave up some armor, leave up some blocking power for it, and plan your turn around them ending their turn with Snatch. And there's some times where you can't play around it, like if it's like has go again and they have lightning press in the deck or something, right? But for the most part, it's a fair card, and it's been in the game forever. It's seen its way into numerous decks in the game. Just very iconic. So that's my number one
As a card that I've never actually played in any of my decks, it definitely feels like a much more fair card because it blocks too, so it's always awkward to have to block with. And there are ways to play around it, and it's when the card feels broken, it's never really the card's fault, it's the cards around it, which I always appreciate.
Yes, exactly. It's not the card itself's fault. It's like you mentioned, the cards around it that make it too strong. How about your next one?
Okay, this one's a much more. Let me make sure. Actually, I'm going to change my list around a little bit. I think my next one's going to be Lumina Ascension. So this one, I actually started. So I'm the Guardian player. Everyone knows me as the Guardian player. I started on Bolton as like my first deck I took to Armories. And like watching Lumina Ascension combos, playing Lumina Ascension combos. When Pen came out, I built a Bolton deck and played Bolton for a little bit again. Lumina Ascension such a cool card. Like how it works, especially with the Soul of Irina. Like, oh, I'm gonna instant speed play this to give my sword +1 on hit, charge my soul, and practically go again. And you can attack additional times. It's so cool, and like I love the combo aspect of it. You can also do like Sabers combo, which was an old way to play Bolton, where you like pop your chess piece, which makes your Sabers free for the turn. You play Lumina Ascension, and then you just like 3, 3, 3, 3, and it's like if maybe you have 2 Luminas, and it's like the Sabers are coming in for 4 go again, 4 go again, 4 go again, 4 go again. You attack with them like 6 times for 4 damage, no resources from hand. You've played you've arsenaled one, so like 5 card hand to steal 6 times 4, which is 24 damage. So you have 3 more cards to add into that, and if it could be Cataclysm, which was 31. Lumina Ascension allows the deck to just do really cool broken things. And I think it's also the reason that Bolton was not allowed to be good for a very, very long time.
Yeah, it is a funny favorite card because it is cool, right? But it's also the reason that the deck is bad.
Yeah.
Or was bad, I should say. Yeah, was bad. It's the reason the deck was bad is because they could not allow it to be better. It would have just been toxic. I agree. That's a very cool card. I remember playing against it back in the day and just being like, I just hope they don't find it. That was basically what it was. It's like, I just hope they don't find the combo in time before I can kill them. If they did, then I'm kind of screwed. Like, there's not much I can do.
Especially as like Dromai.
Yeah.
Just like kill all your dragons and still attack you.
Yeah, and they ran poppers in the deck too. Like they ran a decent number of them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you're done with that one, then I'll move on to my next one. All right. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure. My next one is Dominia. Speaking of Dromai, Dominia is my favorite of the dragons. Now you might think, Cody, wouldn't your favorite be Kyloria or Chromai or Mirgai or Asvalai? No, it's Dominia. Dominia is the most busted of the dragons, closely ahead, like Yeah, closely ahead of Tomotai. Tomotai leads to the funniest interactions, but I think Dominia is my favorite in terms of just like, I'm gonna rip the best card out of your hand. Sometimes you can't even kill my Dominia anymore once I do rip a card out of your hand. That was the best part, was whenever you ripped literally the only way they could kill Dominia, so that 6th round for another turn. The game's just over when that happened. There were also some times where you'd flip over your Passing Mirage and then you get popped. There were some times where you would reveal their hand and they'd have 2 poppers, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll take one of the non-poppers that you just have your extra popper that you can't do much with, and it's just led to the most interesting interactions, I think. There was also a time like it had a really cool play pattern in Living Legend when I was testing Living Legend format for Worlds, or rather the calling for Worlds, where you could double Dominia with the boots, the new Dragon Scaler boots. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, double Dominia with the Dragon Scaler boots is really cool. There's just a lot of cool stuff with Dominia. I know that I am looking at it from the lens of a Dromai player and not from the lens of anyone seeing it on the other side of the table, but it's my top 10 list, or top 9 list actually is what I did, not yours. So too bad it's on the list.
I want to say, like, it's not Tomotai, where, like, Tomotai comes in, destroys your Null Rune boots, you lose sometimes.
Mhm.
Just, like, it happens. Like, Dominia, like, can happen, and you still have a chance to win.
Yeah,
It felt more like you had a chance than Tomotai, but it
was
definitely felt like a strong
in those
card.
decks, too. Like, 4-cost Dragon in that deck is rough.
It was a lot harder to get out than any other dragon. It felt like when it was played, it was very much worth the effort, but it wasn't just like, I just got it and got to play it. It's like, I had to plan for it a little bit. So
yeah, it became less so with Tome of the Imperial Flame, but there were blue Dromai decks that I could run it a little bit more consistently. But yeah, cool card. I just liked playing it. It's a fun one for me.
Okay, so next on my list, I'll probably go Feign Vengeance. It's a new card, and I think it's actually pretty cool. So this one is a new Ira card. It's the blues 0-cost 3-block attack for 0, and it says if this attack is defended, draw a card. I can't remember if there's more text. I don't think there is.
I think.
But anyways, I think that's basically it. Yeah, but I think that's such a cool card because of how it works with Ira's ability. And I love when like cards are like super, hey, talking about the card. I love when cards are like super synergistic. And it has go again if I didn't say that. But super synergistic with like a hero. And it's so unique that it's a 0-cost 0 attack, and it's still something you want to run in your deck. Like a 0 for 0 is normally really bad, but since it's blue too, you can just keep pitching it until someone's at 1 life, and then Kadachi for 1. My attack for 1. You have to block this. Oh, I drew a card. Kadachi for 1. And now all of a sudden you like eat 3 cards from their deck out of 2 cards. I think it's super cool. I think it's super interesting how it's like made and how it works as a card. And there's some other cool things you can do with it. Like you can make it your mask threat, where it's like, oh, like Kadachi. This says a 0 for 3 or 0 for 0. Do you want to block this? If this hits, I get mask. If it doesn't hit, does nothing. Well, and like in CC, you can pop the gloves to make it a 1.
I was about to say, yeah.
And so it's like, okay, you don't block it, I can pop my gloves. But then if you do anything else to defend that, I draw a card because you blocked it. And sure, I didn't get the mask, but I still drew a card. Or I have a razor in hand, and I'm going to razor pump it. Like, I think there's a lot of really cool lines that work with that card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that being one of the cards when it was spoiled that I was the most intrigued by. That it was like, oh, this is very cool design space that they found, that they carved out. And I thought that was really interesting with the arms, is my thought. Like you mentioned with Mass Amendment too, you can go like in this, like if you're in an Edge of Autumn deck, you can go Edge of Autumn, maybe like double strike, and then this card, and it's threatening mask. Or do you want to put a card in front of this? If you do, I'm drawing a card anyway. I draw a card whether you let it hit or not, basically, because I I can basically pump it with the arms, flick the Edge of Autumn, and then make it one to draw a card off of Mask. So it really cool interactions. A lot of design space that it allows the player base to have. I thought it was a really cool card as well.
Yeah, and I think it's like really cool interaction wise.
Mm.
And like you can stack the deck to do this really minimal small attack to gain a lot of value off of it. I think it's cool. I love that card. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about it. I think it's really well designed.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. My next card is Boom Grenade. This is definitely a personal list option. I just think it's a cool card. I like playing this card off the top of my deck. I like looking at the top card of my deck and seeing a Boom Grenade on there when I'm making an attack, and then having to pretend that I didn't see that card on top of my deck while my opponent is deciding whether or not they want to block. It's just a fun card. I think it's a cool mechanic when paired with Dash.io. I think it's interesting that it can actually find a home in other decks too. Puffin can run this card as well. I've seen some Maxes run this card. I've seen some Silver Age dashes, like OG dashes, running this card too. But then it just has its main home in Dash.io. Yeah, fun card. I think it is very fair to play as well.
Mm-hmm.
It represents a large value swing when it's sneaky, but so does most attack reactions with on hits. So yeah, cool card.
Yeah,
I like playing it.
Well, and it does feel fair because like you draw it and it's a 0 block or it's
Yes,
a no block.
that too.
Like,
it's a bad draw. It's a bad draw.
It's such an interesting thing in Dash.io, and it's like I love the counterplay of like, oh, they haven't activated Dio yet. What if there's a Boom Grenade on the top? Can I take that gamble? Can I gamble there's a Boom Grenade? Yeah, I can gamble. Okay, well, if they have the Boom Grenade, they got lucky. But it's like I can't take that gamble. Oh man, I guess I have to add a piece of equipment. It's so cool. I actually think it's one of the coolest cards in the Dio deck.
Yeah, it's a very interesting because it gives a very interesting play pattern for your opponent as well.
Yeah.
All right. What's your next one?
If you're ready, I got my next one.
Yeah, let's see it.
Sticking on the Ira train, actually, I have Vengeance Never Rest, and this card is so cool. And this is when I knew I fell in love with this card because I was playing a game and I got a like all blue hand. I'm like, oh man, all blue. This could whatever. And the opponent just did something where they like played an item and passed. I'm like, wait, I think I have an out for this. And I threw Edge of Autumn for 1, dealt 1 damage. I threw Vengeance Never Rest for 3. They blocked 3. I pumped the arms, made it 4, hit, banished Edge of Autumn, banished Vengeance Never Rest, Edge of Autumn for 1, Vengeance Never Rest for 1, or for 3, go again, into hitting again into Vengeance Never Rest for 3, and then arsenaling. And maybe it was an all blue, I can't remember, but I arsenaled a card. I'm like, off of a like pretty blue hand, I threw 5 because of Ira's ability. I went 1, 5, 1, 3, 3. I'm like, that felt super cool. And it only took 1 card from my deck, and it is cool. I love the type of combos you can do with like a blue minimal card like that. It is fun. And it's also a fine finisher if you just need your Edge of Autumn back, where it's like, oh, I've lost it because I did something earlier where they blocked it and I didn't actually hit with the pump in my Vengeance card. And it's like, oh, it's a 1 for 3 blue or 1 for 4 blue if it's like a simple like Edge of Autumn into this. And it makes the opponent not want to block it because it doesn't really have an on hit if you don't have the like Edge of Autumn. So it's cool. I like it. It's a 3 block too.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a cool card. I like that one as well. My next card is Ponder, the token. Not only do I think the card is cool in general in this design space, it is typically I don't know if a reward is the right word for it, but usually a benefit of a card, whether it's an on hit or just an additional reason to play a card, like Codex of Frailty, for example, is a popular one. But it has a very interesting design space where your deck has to have arsenable cards, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, like the majority of your deck has to be something that you're happy to arsenal.
Yes. So for example, I've been testing a lot of Dromai Silverays lately, and it runs the ward helmet that gives you a ponder token. But in the deck are also On the Horizons, which is that block card. And the amount of times I've drawn On the Horizon off of my ponder is way too high. So it's interesting that it's got this trade off. It's not just a free card most of the time. A lot of times, a random card in your arsenal is actually a downside. And so I think that the design space with it is really interesting. And then the second thing I like about it is the art. It's just a guy sniffing his finger. Like, you can't get much better than that for art on a card. It's just such a funny picture. If you haven't actually looked into the picture too well, like it's just a guy like he's just got his finger under his nose.
Well, he's
like,
not necessarily sniffing his finger. It's
He's
like
thinking.
a guy actually
He's thinking.
pondering.
But once you see a guy sniffing his finger, you can never not see that anymore. So you're welcome, everybody listening to the podcast. It will forever be somebody sniffing their finger instead of thinking intently.
On the end of my turn, I'm gonna sniff my finger and draw a card.
It's a little scratch. You just scratch the card and sniff it, you know.
It's a scratch and sniff card. What would it smell like is the question.
Success.
Success. So that's what it... Yeah, but you draw the block card and it's like...
And it smells like failure.
That doesn't smell like success. It's like one side you scratch for success, one side you scratch for failure.
Exactly.
That's funny. Have you ever seen forget who that YouTuber is, but they made like the Omni token where it was just a big old thing that had every single token in Flesh and Blood that they could just rotate to.
It sounds familiar, but I don't remember it now.
This sounds like something they would do. They might have done it, but like
scratch and sniff
very
token.
funny.
Somebody make it. Somebody does R&D this for us.
Then give it to Cody when they see him at calling. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. But I'll steal it. Back to the next card. My next card is going to be Tectonic Instability. I think this is such a cool card because it's a bad card. But if you play it correctly, it's really good. Because what Tectonic Instability does, again, it's a blue 3-block 0-cost Guardian action that says each hero puts a card from their arsenal on the bottom of their deck and draws a card. Create Seismic Surge equal to how many cards were drawn this way. What's really cool about this is that you can stack it with your deck, or stack it with Disruption, or you do it to stack a late game dominate kill, where a lot of times people will stick defense reactions in their arsenal, and it's something where the opponent sticks a defense reaction in the arsenal, expecting to block your next crush attack, and you can skillfully, if you read their arsenal correctly, sync their defense reaction and throw your dominated attack, and they have no way to defend your attack now because they have no reaction in arsenal. It's like you can do that. It's also super synergistic with Valda. It's like Feign Vengeance, where we were talking with Ira synergistic. Valda will see the opponent draw a card too, and if you sync a card, you create 3 Seismic Surge, which allows you to put a bad arsenal in, where it's like, oh, we were talking about ponders. Like, you have to have cards that you want to arsenal. But sometimes, like, in Valda games, maybe I have one of my yellow block cards, but I haven't seen any of my Tectonic Instabilities yet. I'm like halfway or more than halfway through my deck. I'm like, I have 3 Tectonic Instabilities. I'm going to arsenal this block card because I need to draw a new hand. I can't just hold this, IP this. And then you get that. You can sync your block card, or you can hide some information off of that too. And it like allows you to hand fix too. It's like, okay, I sync that, draw a new card. Oh, there's my red attack I needed. I have 3 Seismic Surge for the next turn. I'll throw this red attack now, or maybe I'll arsenal it based on what I have. I think it's just a super synergistic card that until you like know how to play it, it is dog. It is so bad. You don't know how to play it correctly. Like, there are so many times when I was learning to play this card that I would play it and the opponent would be like, oh my God, you fixed my hand. I'd be like, that's not what I wanted to hear. Anyways, hammer pass, and they're like, oh, I'll take 4, 20-something damage. And so It's something
You know,
like if you don't know how to use it.
this sounds familiar, except that it wasn't as good when you hammered it after the fact.
Yeah, so it's something that you need to know how to play the card because it's
Yeah.
super punishing if you don't. But if you can play it correctly, it can be the strongest card in your deck. I've won games against like Jarls and other hyper defensive decks where I would have lost if this card wasn't the exact card in my deck because they're fatiguing me or this, that, or another thing. And I sank their defense reaction and threw lethal at them. And it is super cool, and it is a cool like seismic generator too. So it's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when you were playing the card, and you're like, I don't think I'm gonna cut this card because it's just bad. And then you've now evolved to like, wait, this card is amazing, and I just gotta play it at the exact right times for it to really shine. Yeah,
cool it is like a fun, unique card.
I almost put Dissolve Reality on my list for a similar reason, where it's a very interesting illusionist card. But yeah, my next card is Construct Nitro Mechanoid. This card's just cool. I just think it's a cool card. Who would have thought you like merging all of your equipment into one very fragile piece of equipment is was a viable strategy. It is still actually a viable strategy, honestly. There are max decks that can be successful, especially if they get the construct out early. Very strong to have this tool. It's just a little more fragile lately because it is an item, and there's a lot of item destruction that is possible in the current card pool now. But I just think it's a cool concept. I think it's a fun it's a fun like quest that you can put some of the mechanologists on, mostly max.
It is super cool. I actually think it was so much fun to play against it a lot against Tanner. The only time they would get stressed is like, oh, construct Micronechanoid. What is the high octane?
Yep.
1 billion action points. I swing for like 40 this turn, and you're like, oh, okay.
Dude, I have lost to Max way too many times. It was like they would kill you. Like they would get the mech out on turn 3 or turn 4 and just kill you. Like they would get to boost into sometimes double or triple attacking with their mechanoid, especially with high octane back in the day. But I just think it's cool to have these little side quests in your decks. I think it's a fun thing. There was even somebody at an armory that built a Dash.io Nitro Mechanoid deck where they were playing they were playing the hybrid drivers in the deck, and they would try to play as many as possible by like seeing them both on top of the deck and in their hand to be able to get the Nitro Mechanoid out as quickly as possible. And I thought that was cool. It also gives more action points to swing with it more often later in the game. So it's a cool concept.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll go into my next card. And my next card has got to be the most classic defense reaction, Sink Below. And so I want to say, like, it was not going to make my top 10 list until more recently, and I'll explain that. But I think Sink Below is super cool. It's a 0-for-4 defense reaction. It's a common, so everyone can play it. It's really easy. It's cheap. And then it hand fixes, which I think is a huge thing. Like, especially in Guardian. Like, I run this way over Shelter because it's like, oh, I drew an all-red hand. Well, luckily I Sink Below in my arsenal. I'll sink, I'll draw blue. Okay, my hand's fixed. Or at least I hope my hand's fixed. If I draw another red, I'm just crying. But it is, one, it hand fixes. It's a classic 0-for-4. All that stuff I said. Why I have put it in my top 10 list is because when my opponent plays Sink Below into Valda and then sinks a card and draws a card and gives me that third Seismic Surge, I am on a high. I am like, put that back in your hand. You're okay. You don't even have to just, if my opponent had like 6 in the deck for some reason against Valda, I would be like, keep going. Keep rocking it.
We're not calling the judge. Excited. It's fine.
You have 6 red sinks, but you keep activating the ability. I'm not calling nobody. Like, you've got this. I'm rooting for you. It is such a fun card. And it's one of those things where like playing Valda has like changed a lot of my view on cards because a lot of those really like crazy cards, when someone plays it, like I'm so excited. Like whenever I see a brute play Blood Rush Bellow, like I'm rooting with them. I'm like, let's go, like draw those cards, get some gas. Like I'll block with my shield for 5, and my other card I was gonna pitch with for 3. You gained 6 value on your Blood Rush. I gained 8. That's sick. Anyways, 10 dom. Like it is like Sink Below is one of those cards where it's like, one, it's a classic card. I play it all the time. But I am so elated when I see someone put a card under and draw one on Valda. Oh, it's so cool.
Classic card. Classic card.
Classic.
You know what another classic card is? It's not as classic as Sink Below, but Channel Lake Frigid, I would say is a classic card, and that's the next card on my list. I just think it's a cool card. I think it's a cool concept. I've been on the opposite side of it, and it always like feels bad, but it's fair. You know, like I'm okay with it. It has a cost. It doesn't always stick around very long. I think the most unfair it's been is in Icelander. That's when it felt a little bit less fair. But in every other instance, I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I was okay when Old Him played it. I'm okay when Jarl plays it. Even when it's very devastating for me, I think it's just a fair card. Makes my stuff cost 1 more. I can sometimes get around it.
Sorry, I was gonna say when you don't play it as an instant, it definitely does not feel as strong. It's like I'm paying 1 card to play this on my turn. I'm taking what would be offensive momentum and turning it into what feels like defensive momentum. But sometimes it's not nearly as good.
Exactly. Yeah, and sometimes I get to play around anyway. Sometimes it doesn't matter. I was like, oh, I had an extra blue I didn't want to use anyway. So, cool. That's not often the case, but sometimes it happens. And I think the art is just gorgeous, especially the alt art that came in the same set. I actually have one. It's just really cool.
One of the alt arts. That's crazy.
It's actually slabbed. Unfortunately, since the video isn't showing, those of you watching the YouTube video won't see this, but I'm gonna show it for Jacob.
Oh, I'm gonna appreciate this. I love Channel Lake Frigid. I think it's such a cool card, and I truly miss Ice in the format. Oh, I wish the video was working. That's so pretty.
Yeah, it's in.
Where'd you get?
I don't know
Where'd you get it?
It's HGA slabbed. I don't really understand. What's funny is I bought it on TCG Player, and then the seller messaged me, and they're like, "Hey, it's in a slab. Do you want us to crack it before we send it to you?" And I was like, "No, just send it in the slab. That's fine with me." It's just such a cool card. I just like it a lot.
So cool. Yeah, that's so cool. But yeah, I miss Ice. Like, I wish Ice would come back into the format.
When Ice, give us an expansion Icelander.
When Ice.
When
Please.
Ice.
Please. The meta is so aggressive. Please give us Ice back.
Please.
Please. I play Jarl. Please give us real Ice back.
I play Dio and I still want Ice back.
Yeah.
All right, what's your next
We're going on to my next card. Talking about Ice, staying on theme, Icequake.
Ooh.
So super spicy. And we were just talking, like I was just talking about how it's when you play Channel Lake Frigid, it is a defensive play. Like I'm playing this, I'm using my offensive turn to play a defensive card, limiting my offensive power most of the time. So slowing the game down. I love Icequake because it is an offensive ice card. There is so little offensive ice cards. Still there?
Oh yeah. I had it the whole time.
Okay, sorry, my screen froze, so I was thought I was lost. Anyways, it is an offensive ice card, which there's so few that matter. And the other thing is, it can combine with cards like Spinal Crush. I make it Spinal for 12. I can put it on CNC for 9. It's not like I forget what the card is, but it's just a 2 for 6 on hit Frostbite. It's like you can put it on other effects. And that's what's so cool. And it also says your next attack. It was one of very few cards before like Super Slam that said your next attack. Like I remember in Jarl, I was running. I forget what it is. It's
Embolden?
that one no, the one non-attack. Embolden says your next guardian attack.
Right.
It's the one
Okay.
non-attack action from Arcane Rising. That's just a one cost 2 block.
It's 3
Your
block
next attack is
actually.
+3. Yeah. It was 3
It's
blocks.
like
But it's like your next
come
attack
to fight.
+3.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Come to
fight. Your next attack is +3. I was running that for a minute because of the buff ability. But to get ice, so it fuses and it activates Jarl's ability if they lost equipment, like Ice Quake's so good. It's so cool. And it's on hit Frostbite. Like it's a beautiful card. It's one of my favorites. I love Red Ice Quake. I also love Blue Ice Quake. I might actually like Blue Ice Quake more than Red Ice Quake, which is
CNC
crazy
for 7?
spicy. Yeah. Oh no, I drew an all blue hand. Okay, anyways, I'm still gonna throw CNC for 7 because I had an Arsenal CNC. On it Frostbite. What are you gonna do? It's super spicy. It's It's like my spicy Jarl deck. Like all my Jarl decks are gonna have Blue Ice Quake in it.
Yeah, you haven't really played against Jarl until you're in aggro deck and you see Spinal Crush for 12 with on it Frostbite coming at you.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Not only am I presenting the ice disruption, but I'm also sending the physical disruption. A lot of like deal games, I would win through damage because I just slow them down enough to just kill them. It was fun.
Yeah, that was a brutal matchup. My next card is Sandscour Great Bow. I just think this is a fun bow. That's gonna be the theme with some of the cards on my list. I think they're just fun cards. I think this is a cool theme that they had. They had this whole aim counter synergy that they put out in I think it was Dynasty that it first came out in. I believe
so.
I believe it's Dynasty.
That sounds right.
Where they did this aim counter synergy, and Sandscour was one of the cards. And I thought that the Azalea Sandscour list was one of the coolest decks in the format back in the day. It was such a fun way to play the game, and it was a very unique style. It had a very high skill ceiling. Actually, it was not an easy deck to play by any means, and it was very rewarding whenever you got things to line up the way you wanted it to. It was just a cool card. It was a cool concept. I thought that it worked really well with Azalea and the aim counter mechanic, and it allowed the deck to play a lot of cards that did not really see a lot of play before that deck emerged.
It's a super cool bow. I wish I could see it more. I saw you actually put it on this list, and I was like, man, like I don't like Ranger, but I want to see more Ranger play with this in aim counter synergy. So it'd be cool if they like made a Ranger that's like hero ability does something with aim counters.
Exactly. It would be really cool. I agree. Yeah.
So my next card is another recent addition to the game, Doubling Season. And I'm sure you've heard me talk about this one a lot. I love this card. It is so much fun. The dopamine hit I get when I'm like Doubling Season for 24, Doubling Season for 20, huge. I have a Jarl list right now that I'm working on that is a Earth Jarl Doubling Season list. It's beautiful. I love this list. This is my silly card. Like, this is the card that, like, I just want to hit the dopamine. Like, I don't even care if I win. Like, if I hit a 20 or higher Doubling Season, I've won. Like, I'm happy to have played the game of Flesh and Blood. It is so much fun. And it's so ridiculous because, like, every once in a blue moon, like, I'll just send Cody a picture of a Doubling Season that I've sent. Like, oh, by the way, I threw this in Sage on turn 2, Doubling Season for 24. Oh, by the way, here's a CNC for 18. I threw the... Like, it's so crazy. I actually played a little bit more, and I didn't send you, like, I think it was last week. I played a little bit more. I didn't send you the, like, results of a lot of it. Because there was a lot more of just, like, 24, 20, 22. It was awesome. I love Doubling Season. It's so much fun. I, like, lose most games because I spend the entire game setting up for this one huge combo, and then I get killed. But, yeah, I have a Jarl list. I have a Terra Sage list. And yeah, it's like doubling my dopamine is my Sage list. And then I think No. It's like double dis and
Yeah.
doubling my dopamine on my 2 list. It's fantastic.
Yeah, very cool. I love when he sent me the image. It's just no context, just doubling season for 24. It's just like hell
So
yeah.
it's such a funny card. It's the card I have screenshotted and taken the most pictures of in my entire life. It is
Yeah.
I like don't take a lot of pictures of cards, but it's the card that I go like, hell yeah, this is 24 damage.
Hell
Screenshot.
yeah.
Hell yeah. It's so much fun.
All right. Well, my next one is the Demi Hero card, Leviah Redeemed and Blasmafet. I forget the rest of the name of the card. That part of the card actually. Consumed. Blasmafet consumed. That's right. Another just really cool concept. A really nice design space that I thought LSS expanded into this whole Demi Hero concept. And the effects on each side are actually really cool and unique as well. I think the Blasmafet ended up being a little bit too strong compared to the redeemed side, but I thought it was interesting that you had these two game plans you can go for. Where like if you ended up getting the blood debt to tick you down to the 13, you got to do this really strong play. But even if you got past, your opponent had an attack reaction or whatever, you still had this secondary game plan in Leviah Redeemed on the same one sideboard spot card, right? And it's really cool concept. I think that Blasphemous Endgame is just such a very cool like quest to aim for, and it's even stronger now with the new D React that came out in Competitive Wraith. It's just a cool concept to have your hero evolve. It's kind of like the Teklovasin thing, but I think it's way easier to do. The Leviah or the Blasphemous consumed.
Just have to take damage.
Yeah, you just have to take damage. It's just part of the game.
It's just part of Leviah.
Yeah.
I am so happy you put this on your list. It barely didn't make it on my list. I love this card. I played Leviah for a while. You know that, but I don't know if the listeners know that. I played Leviah for a while, so I actually love this card. But I didn't know. I think it was like I was debating Lumina Ascension or Blood on Her Hands to replace with this. But I'm like, I don't know if this is like an in-deck card. It's technically sideboard and how I'm limiting myself. I'm like, but should I break the rules for this? And I'm like, I don't know. It's such a cool card. And it allows for a deck to play so uniquely in Flesh and Blood that we've never ever seen. And like, yeah, you have Teklavos and Demi Hero, but that's very different than Leviah Demi Hero, it feels like.
Yeah, and imagine just losing to item destruction or equipment destruction. Like couldn't be Leviah.
Yeah, equipment. Could not be Leviah. Yeah, she dies to herself. She dies on her own terms.
Yeah, imagine dying to your opponent's cards instead of your own cards.
Yeah. It is one of the benefits of playing Leviah is just being like, well, I lose next turn, so I'll just block out, and instead of dying to their terms, I'll die to my own terms. I lost this game. You didn't win. I lost. Like, right. Leviah's fun, and I definitely recently have been thinking about putting her back together, and that's such a cool card. I love that card. So I'm so happy you made it on your list, even though it didn't make it on mine.
That was